bad juju.
No. I'm Steven with Tobacco Cabana.
And I'm David. I'm a Texan, and I love cigars. This is the Roadshow. All right, we are back for another show.
So, absolutely. Got to start with our toast.
We have to, right? You guys know this is coming up. I hope you've got your drink. We're drinking this Milam Green again.
Yes.
Had to bring it back. This was really, really good. So definitely, if you guys got your drink, raise your glasses, please, because this toast is for you guys, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
for the viewers,
exactly,
the people who make this happen.
Exactly, and we have fun doing it. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys watching. So to good friends, good conversation, this is what we call
Texas Toast.
Cheers, brother. Cheers. All right. I had to take a little bit bigger drink that time because that is good stuff. Thank you for bringing that in. Where'd you find that at?
I found it when I was down in South Texas. Stopped in a liquor store and just spotted that and went, had my lemon green, but I hadn't seen that triple cask. Yeah. Hadn't even gone looking for it, but it just jumped out at me along with a couple other things that they had.
What did you say that was called a triple cask for?
Well, it's 3 different whiskeys to blend this one bottle. A Texas bourbon, a Tennessee whiskey, and a Kentucky whiskey.
Wow.
So three different agings
and
in
this
that profile.
This is a women's, 2 women,
female
right? Milam Green.
Yep.
2 female. They own the company. They are the master blenders. Oh, fantastic palates.
Fantastic palates.
Because this is normally a Texas whiskey.
Just Texas usually.
But this one is blended from
3 different.
Very interesting. I've not heard of doing that before. So good job, ladies.
Yes.
Fantastic. Very smooth. The notes on that are fantastic. I like it. It's pairing great with this cigar. But we're here to talk about some news, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do we got?
We got news from Diesel.
Diesel. AJ Fernandez. People say Diesel, they say AJ Fernandez, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's just, so they've got their Sunday Gravy series. This is the final one.
6th and final, I think.
Yeah, 6th and final one. Yeah, right. And so by the time this airs, it's already should be in brick and mortars.
Yes.
So that series is going to be in there. And so this one is named after an iconic Florentine fountain called Il Porcellino.
Porcellino.
So Porcellino means little pig.
I think so.
Yeah. So this is blended by AJ and Justin Andrews.
Right.
Collaboration again. I've seen his name pop up more
and more
too with AJ blendings. So I'm not sure. Is he work exclusively with STG?
I don't think exclusively. I think he's in the industry.
You've got to fly in the studio. Oh.
Yeah, one of those people that has got a palate that companies are recognizing and wanting to leverage to help their portfolio.
I like this one quote, or what they're saying here. Hinting at a return to collaborating with selected El Porcellino as the name for their final Sunday Gravy release. They're saying either that or they were inspired by a wild boar ragu and wanted to name a bold, rich smoke after it. They said, who knows?
Wild boar ragu sounds good.
Yeah. I'll go for some of that.
Yeah. All right.
But, what are they saying? It's
like the 5 previous.
Yeah. They're all full bodied.
All full bodied.
All
Habano blend.
Yeah,
this one happens to come with an Oscuro wrapper.
So real dark.
Real dark.
So that's what somebody might call a double Maduro.
Right.
Is a Oscuro. Okay.
Almost, well, sometimes into the blacks when you see them. And they generally have a nice oily finish that'll sometimes iridesce.
I've only heard of this. Yeah, I've only heard of this one. So the binder is a Pueblo Nuevo binder.
Right.
I've only heard of that a couple of times being used. And then, of course, Nicaraguan Habano filler.
Yep.
It sounds like a great cigar. and it's a 6x52. What's the price point on that?
This is what's scary. $4.99.
$4.99 for a Toro, blended by AJ Fernandez in a special series.
Yep.
Cigar by STG, General Cigar Company. It's going to be distributed by Forge Cigar Company, but that's unheard of.
Stick.
$5 stick,
That is beautiful.
you know, is going to have flavor,
right?
That is not of your normal cigar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing. So fantastic. I will try it. I steer away from diesels just because I know they are full
body.
Some of them are just knock you in the face.
Yeah.
Cigars, and I've steered away from those over the years, and I've tried to go to more of a lighter, Habano type of cigar. A little bit, still I don't want to skimp on the flavor, but I just don't need the full in your face stuff anymore.
No.
Yeah. So speaking of more STG cigars, we've got La Gloria Cubano, a collaboration with El Titan de Bronze. I've never heard of them. Nope. I don't know what that is.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, but obviously they are somebody to be revered and respected in the cigar industry, because La Gloria's is pairing up with them to create this. It's called Miami's. They're celebrating the roots of Miami's little Havana district. Yeah.
Yep.
And so this is called 8th Street, or that's what the what is that?
Cale Ocho.
Oh, Ocho. I know Ocho, but Cale, I didn't know Cale. So very interesting. Again, here's the name Justin Andrews. He said La Gloria 8th Street is probably made in the U.S. Honors the roots of this legendary brand. So legendary. I have to apologize if I've not heard of that.
Yeah.
Because
research on that.
Yeah, I would like to do some research on that. It's just amazing how many cigar companies and blenders are out there that come up, and I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice by not knowing about this.
But there are so many.
Yeah, there are. So this one here says, the owner is one of Cale Ocho's biggest success stories, and it's brand my team and I have long admired. When we were approached about collaborating on this special project, they jumped at the chance.
Oh, yeah.
So, they've
got some respect in the industry.
Definitely got some respect. And so full body smoke, like we mentioned, Ecuadorian Habano, another Oscuro wrapper.
Yep.
It's going to have those darker notes, that espresso or that leather type of notes in there with that type of wrapper. This one is a little bit more expensive cigar.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a very limited release. They're doing 5,000 boxes, 10 count, so 50,000 cigars.
Right. It's a Toro.
And depending on their distribution, that could go quick. That means this is a pretty small release.
Right.
Price point going to be about $21.99.
Yeah. So that's a special occasion cigar for me. I'm not the one that goes out and buys $21 cigars all the time.
Nope.
But definitely when you've got a company like La Gloria Cubana pairing with somebody that they respect, I would definitely have to say, okay, I've got to try that.
Yep.
So definitely
keep an eye out for it.
Exactly. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right. We are back, guys. I'm going to finish up some news. One of the companies that I love, Caffey 1901.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love Dr. Caffey, Gabby, as he insists us calling him. We've talked about this before, that they have moved to La Aurora factory.
Yep.
So now it's in the Dominican Republic instead of Honduras.
It's given him some great resources. The
tobacco, everything they use is going to be at least minimum of 4 years aged. And then have the expertise of a factory that's been around since 1903. Just
long-standing.
I cannot wait. And I believe by the time you see this video, the first of the new batches from Caffey are going to be shipping out to a lot of the stores. So definitely ask for them. So they have a cigar. Caffey has a cigar, the Liga de la Casa. It's a bundle stick, but it's a banded bundle stick. It used to be medium short filler type of cigar. It was, just your leftover stuff.
Yeah.
And they would make great cigars out of it. Now they're going to be long filler cigars. And then it's coming from the La Aurora factory on top of that. So that, if you're looking for a cigar that you want to buy by the bundle, and it comes from a reputable blender, a reputable factory,
right?
You can't beat to me, you can't beat this.
No, and we've got 4 releases, Vitolas, a Robusto, a Toro, a Churchill, my favorite, and a Grand Toro. And we're looking at price points from $4 to $5 a stick.
All the way up to the Grand Toro.
That's a lot of cigar.
Yes.
In a 6x58. And even a Churchill, to me, 7x50.
Right.
That's a good long hour and a half smoke.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. But he, Dr. Caffey said his focus, his past year was to create cigars between that $4 to $5 range.
Right.
Definitely, they have that higher end cigar range that with the Caffey 1901, the Sumatra, and the San Andres and the Maduro, but this is a bundle stick that will definitely, I think, you need to keep one in your, in your humidor.
Yeah. Always keep a bundle on hand.
Yeah. I like buying them. I know my son buys bundles like that. And if I can't think of a better company to go with.
No.
There are great bundles out there, but this is a banded bundle too. This is not a naked bundle.
Right.
So they've taken the time to put bands on all these and everything, and you're talking about a $4 to $5 stick.
That's impressive.
Impressive. All right, guys. We'll be right back. Oh my gosh, Steven. I need a
tip. Talked about lighter maintenance.
Yeah, we've already talked about that. We can't do that again.
No.
Okay.
But let's maintain another accessory. Your cutter.
How do I?
What? Yeah, right. Well,
how do I maintain a cutter? It cuts or it doesn't.
Well, if it doesn't, you haven't maintained it.
Oh.
So, depending on the style, like this V I've got, has a little bit of an area down here where I could impact tobacco.
Okay.
So I make sure I blow that out or clean it out every once in a while.
Okay.
But to make sure it cuts cleanly and slides and glides or guillotines or scissors, whatever the action is.
Right.
Take a little alcohol and wipe down those blades and make sure you keep them clean.
So there's no sticking.
No sticking. And you will always ensure a good clean cut. If something gets in there and it starts binding on you, you're not going to get that clean, crisp cut you're looking for.
What have you heard of this? Where they say to take your cigar, if it has a wrapper on there, exterior wrapper, cellophane,
right,
is to go ahead and cut the cap with the cellophane on it, and then that acts as a sharpening device for your blade.
I'm not necessarily sure it would sharpen it.
Cellophane will sharpen enough blade.
I won't. I know I've got a Zycar punch that self-sharpens.
Oh, wow.
that I love.
Okay.
And we do it on our bench tops because if somebody wants their cigar cut from us, we don't want to pull it out of the wrapper and handle it. We'll go through that bench top, but that's got a nice heavy blade and spring action on it, and we'll cut cleanly.
Right.
And then I can hand the customer their cigar without having to have touched it. It's clean, it's maintained for them, everything.
So a lot of the maintenance is just keeping it clean.
Keeping it clean.
All right, another great tip. We're back.
And what another great tip.
Another great tip. If you guys can think of a tip that you want us to, have out there that you don't think we know about, or one that we've done and you do it differently, I'd love to hear it. I would. I really would.
Or if you have a question. If you have a question that would make a good tip, like how would you do, or what do you think about?
That would be good too. Yeah, I would love to do that too. But what are we here for, Dave? What other reason do you come here for? It is pairings.
Pairings.
I love
pairings. And over the past year,
mm-hmm.
we've tried a number of different spirits.
Yeah.
We've tried a number of different whiskeys.
Right.
But I brought a style of a whiskey that not a lot of people, unless you're really into the industry, know about. And
really? Okay.
This is called an American light whiskey.
American light whiskey.
And don't let that light fool you.
Whew.
Don't let
I can smell it's got some proof. Wow. Just the nose on that alone so tell us, Dave, what proof is that? That smells like it's got some leg
this is coming in at 133.
130. Love it. Gotta love it.
And I've had some light whiskeys. I've had some that come in at hazmat. So I've had one that came in at 152.
Hazmat. Calling the crew, man.
140 and above is hazmat, and one that came in at 142. And I made the mistake of shooting an ounce of it. Boy, did I feel it.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Well, and the cigar, I brought these in thanks to General Cigar Company supplying me with these. The new Macanudo Inspirado. I have not had this one. I think you've smoked it once.
I've smoked it once, and then when you told me that you were going to be bringing this in, I went back and looked at the blend on it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to bring this in. I knew for sure, but I wanted to make sure that the blend was going to be something that would match up with this.
Right.
Now, I'm not even going to try to pronounce what they call the seed. It's a Dominican, but it's a Dominican hybrid of the Habano.
Oh, that's got a nice aroma to it.
Doesn't it?
Man.
So this is a Dominican hybrid of the Habano seed.
That's got a nice aroma. I love it when you have a cigar and it just, whatever smell or taste you get from it, just all of a sudden ignites something in your smells or your taste buds. And you just, to me, I just sit back and go, oh, that I just noticed something. That aroma right there, just on the initial light up, was very, very pleasant. I like it.
And for me, and part of this is because we're soft lighting this, so we're not hard lighting. And remember what we talked about is hard lighting is where we're taking it in and drawing the flame through the cigar.
Oh wow!
The initial draws just right off the bat is very nice. It's relaxing. It's it's got a nice body, nice boldness to the earthy tones of it that Dominican is known for.
Yeah, and
it's very calming.
And so you think, so this is a I would say light to medium-ish, light on the lighter side of the medium-ish cigar. For me, Macanudo's just not known for
Macanudos. Yeah, they're not known for their heavy. I mean, what that really tells me when we talk about the strength, the light to medium on the strength of it, that the tobacco is well aged.
Right.
It's telling me the tobacco is well aged. I say medium boldness because of the strength of the flavors.
Okay.
The strength of the flavors are there.
Now, didn't we have a conversation before about trying to change the terminology used? Wanting to use instead, what everybody relates to a cigar is talking about strength and what's the other? I'm blanking. Body
relates to how heavy that smoke feels in your mouth.
Okay.
And how much smoke, how much, but really how heavy that smoke. So, like when you get a nice, good draw and you can really feel it inside your mouth.
So this is not a super heavy smoke, but man, there's that smell, that taste, that initial smell that I got on the light up.
And so here's exactly where you're hitting it, and why I want to try to introduce this other way to describe it is because what you're describing is those flavors and the intensity level of those flavors. And while this is not a strong cigar,
Yeah.
because strength usually equates to acidity levels and nicotine levels.
Right.
This is not a strong cigar in that sense.
But it's a flavorful cigar.
But it's a very flavorful cigar, which is what we go for. We don't smoke cigars because we want really high acidities and nicotine levels. We smoke cigars because we want those flavors, right?
Right, I do.
Okay, so that's why I go with that intensity, and it's got a nice medium to full boldness of that intensity because those flavors are there.
Yeah. No, that's got a great. Yeah. I really like that. That just off that, I'm just going on a half an inch in right now, and that I really like that. That is, I'm just not. I don't buy a lot of Macanudos. Definitely, I've smoked Macanudos.
Absolutely.
I've tried them. I've tried all those different colored ones that they've got coming out, the green and the white, because I like to try everything, but I just don't gravitate towards them. But this is, they're changing their blends up.
They're, and I really think that it's the boutique, the craftness that we see a lot of our boutique brands, craft brands that are doing that's really pushing the major brands, the big labels like Macanudo, Monte Cristo, Padron, Romeo Juliet.
Yeah.
We even see Rocky Patel and Carlito with Arturo Fuentes that are coming out with these, changing some of their blends up or introducing new blends to really kind of parallel with what the boutique cigar guys are doing.
No, that's really pleasant. It's I want to say floral, but it's not. It's floral-ish in a way because it's so light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to look at my flavor wheel. If I was to think of the flavor wheel, it would be down on the floral, the herby type of taste that I'm getting. It's not a normal taste that I normally get from cigars that I smoke. It's not a normal smell that I normally get.
No, it's not. It's creaminess, but not in that chocolate or buttery cream.
No.
It's earthy, but not in a gravel, earthy, or
it's almost like a golly. I want to say what just came to mind right now while I was just on that draw right there. Could you imagine just skipping through a spring field, with flowers and grass and everything else, and it's just beautiful spring weather? That's what I could imagine. That's what
just after a morning dew or a fresh rain.
Yeah. It's light. It's very almost on the aromatic side. That just ignites some different feelings in me when I'm smoking this cigar. So that is definitely one that I want to try to get more of because I like that.
And if I remember right on the blend, it's Dominican Honduran with a little bit of Nicaraguan on the fillers. Now let's pair it to this.
133 proof.
All right, so this is considered a light whiskey.
A light
whiskey can go into the barrel higher and can go into the bottle higher. So a bourbon or rye cannot go into the bottle any higher than cannot go into the barrel any higher than 160 proof, and it's not supposed to go into the bottle any higher than 125 proof. And if I'm trying to remember the numbers because this can actually be bottled and barreled at a higher proof. Okay. And there's no regulations. They don't have to use a new charred oak barrel.
And so what are we looking at with this one? Because I'm not familiar with this one at all. So what have we got here?
This is Rye 3. Or RY3, this is the brand that does it, and you can see how light colored it is.
It is.
Which is why they call it, because it's not going into a brand new charred oak barrel.
Okay.
It's going into a used barrel.
Okay.
This barrel's been used, or it could be just an uncharred barrel. But the thing is that it can be a higher proof when it's bottled. And
Yeah, I don't get all these
rules
rules and things like that, but that's what you, being a bourbon steward,
Right.
start focusing on things like that. So let me nose this. Yeah, yeah. Prost.
We definitely
Sláinte,
ought to tap
cheers.
this one.
Yeah, man, that noses. You can just smell the proof on it. I mean,
And see, for me, I'm not smelling the proof. I'm smelling the
but you know
the
what?
the sweetness.
Yeah, you know what? I just caught that after smoking this cigar, and the sweetness that I'm getting out of this. It's like just the smells alone go together.
Yeah.
Just that. So I want to, sip this and then take another. It's definitely got some heat. I mean, it's warm.
Oh,
it's not
it's warm.
It is. Yeah. Wow.
But it's got enough. It's got enough sweetness to it, and it's so. It's crisp.
Yeah, it's crisp.
It's crisp to the point where it can be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you do when you take a sip of this, you do go, "Oh, I'm drinking something." You know, it'll wake you up every time you take a sip because it's got some heat to it.
Wait till you, because as you've mentioned on other episodes, wait till you get that second and third sip.
So that, oh wow, yeah, this is a great pairing. This is a great pairing with the nose and the taste on this, with the nose and the taste on this cigar. This is a fantastic pairing. Man, I love it when you have combinations that you run across like this, that this was somewhat planned. I mean, I told you what cigar I was bringing. I think you wanted to go ahead and bring that.
I wanted to go ahead and
So
bring
you were
that.
bringing that.
And it was somewhat planned. It's because I looked at the blend, and because of everything that we've talked about, and knowing your seeds and knowing what each of the leaves that's in your blend bring out in your cigar, and then also knowing the style of what they're known for, what Macanudo's known for.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% positive, but I had a pretty good feeling that this was going to be a very nice pairing.
Yeah.
And this is why we always push. If you want to take your pairing onto that next level of just matching profile to profile, strength to strength, then you've got to start learning this. And with this particular one, this particular whiskey, because even though it's very high proof, because of the sweetness behind it, had we gone with a very strong, peppery, extremely bold cigar, in all of that aspect, it would have overpowered the rest.
And that's what I was going to say was, basically with what we just talked about with this being, it's clean, it's crisp. That's a good way to describe this cigar too.
Very much so.
Very clean tasting cigar, very light notes, but very noticeable light notes.
Yes.
It's just, this is a fantastic pairing. You guys, if you're out there, I still want to see some of the pairings that you guys have. Have you had this pairing? I doubt it, because where did you get this bottle?
This is part of the, as you know, I'm part of the Bourbon Thieves community. And so we do, the leaders, the founders do barrel picks with different distilleries. And so this is one of our barrel picks.
Okay.
But you can pick up an RY3 American light whiskey. And there's a number of other American light whiskeys that are out. Penelope has done one that's just phenomenal.
Letting that sit in my mouth after that. Okay, I don't want to scare anybody with the flavor, because this one flavor in candies and things like that I don't like. But I almost got like a really, really super light banana. just, I don't know if that's this and this together
It could be a combination of them both.
because of that lightness.
Yeah.
It's a really super light, but it's that super light taste. But that's immediately what came to mind was a super light banana, like a true banana, not a candy banana taste, but a true
Fresh off the vine
banana. Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. Definitely getting, because of that sweetness, it almost makes me think of like a candied corn.
Okay.
And again, a lot of people are turned off by the candied aspect of it, but this is really enjoyable. This pairing is.
Yeah, but it's not like a sickening sweet.
No, it's not. It's.
What is the mash bill on this? What is so it's mostly rye. This is a rye, right? Is this a rye?
No,
it's not. So the RY fools me.
The RY fools you, but no, I think this is predominantly corn.
Okay. Well, that would
equate to
the color
of it,
right? And the sweetness. Yeah, the sweetness being corn is definitely going to be sweeter. So if you guys like the sweeter bourbons like this, corn, and you find yourself a nice lighter cigar, I think you can come up with some pretty good pairings like that. I would love to see what you guys come up with, because some people might think, hey, I've got a really light taste, I need to go with a heavier cigar. But when you start getting into that, I think like what we've talked about, like what you just said was, excuse me, it's good. It's going to overpower, and you're going to lose one or the other.
And a lot of people will do the same thing with the proof, because this is a high proof. I mean, come on, we're 133. This is not a low proof. But don't let that high proof, that number, scare you away and thinking that it's just going to overwhelm you.
Yeah.
Because even at a 40%, 80 proof, which is the lowest that a whiskey can be, is 80 proof. Your body has to acclimate to that ethanol, which we talked. And we talked about a number of different ways that you can acclimate your body to it, acclimate your system to it. Once you're acclimated, the proof goes out the window. Now it comes down into all of those flavors. And honestly, the higher the proof, from my experience, the more prominent those flavors are.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. But you're right. A lot of people, holy cow, 133, I can't handle that. This is very, like you said, it's dangerous.
It's dangerous
because you can handle it. You can handle that. It's not like, just like Everclear or something ridiculous. It's 133 proof, but the flavors, the lightness that is in there offsets all that. I'm able to put up with the high proof because of the flavors and the lightness that I'm getting out of it.
Now, this is one that I absolutely would drink with a cube, nice ball or cube of ice.
Would you?
Big, nice ball cube of ice with this cigar on a hot summer, Texas summer day, sitting out on my balcony.
Okay.
Just because of how light it is, how crisp it is.
Yeah, I'm just not.
With the cigar.
Yeah, I've got all those things. I've got all those molds, to make the big ball of ice and then the cubes and the stones and things like that. But I really have to be prompted by somebody like you or somebody else, Steven, to say, go ahead and try this with some ice in it. Because I automatically think of, well, it's going to water it down. It's just.
And that's why I say go with a ball or a cube of ice, the big cubes.
Right.
Because it's much slower.
What about stones?
Stones would be great.
Because it's just going to chill it.
It's going to chill it. But as it's slowly melting, as the ice is slowly melting, even in the hot summer day, it is going to open up the body even more. So and
when
the stone won't.
Okay. And so with things like that, okay, so you're out there, Texas summer. I know there's other places that are hot too, and it's going to make ice melt. And you've got your ice in there, and hopefully, one of those bigger cubes is going to melt slower.
It's going to melt slower.
But as the weather, you're drinking outside, and it's going to melt considerably faster. Is it going to? Do you have a certain amount of time that you need to drink that before it just becomes just totally watered down and you're not getting anything out of it?
Think about it this way. And I love that question. But think about it this way. This is 133 proof.
Right.
How much am I going to pour of that compared to, say, a 40 proof or 80 proof, 40% ABV?
Okay.
How much of that am I going to pour? So in the amount of time that it would take, and it would probably take a good 45 minutes to an hour even in Texas heat, for that to melt all the way down. And yes, completely dilute your drink.
Right.
But if I'm taking a half-ounce pour of this and I'm adding that in there, it's not going to take me 30, 45 minutes to drink that.
Right.
I mean, we've been, since we poured this, and we're talking a lot through this, we're almost through the pour, and we're in about a 10-minute segment.
Yeah, ish. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Now, if this was say Buffalo Trace, which is a phenomenal whiskey, really great whiskey, easy to get, 80 proof, 40%. I'm going to pour quite a bit more. No, I wouldn't do the same with that.
Okay.
Because it is going to dilute it, because it's going to take me longer to drink it.
Okay. I mean, I know there are people out there that automatically, they just automatically put ice in everything they drink. And my suggestion is that you drink it neat first.
Absolutely. If you want to really experience the whiskey to its truest, drink it neat first.
I mean, if you look back at that episode, and I love it, I watch it just because of the knowledge that I gained from it when I did that episode with Dwayne Poore up in Oklahoma City. And he drinks everything neat first, then put some drops of water in there to open it up. And it's just amazing what happens when you do that. But my thought is, I always drink it neat. And even if I'm sitting outside, I'm drinking it neat. I just don't think about ice because I'm afraid it's going to water it down. But I do know the water does open it up, and you get more flavors out of it because of just exactly how Dwayne described it.
And Dwayne is 100% spot on. And I would add one more aspect to that. We all produce saliva.
Yeah.
And when we have a good cigar like this, that makes your mouth water, produces saliva. You love a good cigar that produces saliva, and you love a good whiskey that produces saliva. And you can have a whiskey that doesn't. It dries your mouth out.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, when you have something where you have both combination of those, and your body is producing that saliva, now that's your body chemistry. And the reason why we say, and you've heard me say, swirl it around in your mouth, just like you do with wine, right?
Yeah.
Swirl it around in your mouth. The saliva is opening it up. Now it's opening it up based upon your body chemistry.
Yeah.
As opposed to adding water.
Because everybody's palate's different. Everybody's makeup is yours. Everybody's is different. So, but I would highly suggest if you're drinking something new, to drink it neat.
100% always.
Yeah.
And that's the way I always do it. I always drink it neat first, and then just based upon the profile of what I've got here and what it is that I'm looking for my own personal enjoyment. Yeah. Then I'm going to add whiskey stones into it. If it's, I don't want it to be opened up, add an ice block to it, because I want it to be opened up slowly.
Yeah. What about when you're sitting out now? I love this time of year, fall. We're at fall. You get outside in the morning, it's 50 degreit's. Just set that drink outside.
I'm sitting it out, and it's neat 100%.
Yeah, because it's chilly outside, and I want that warmth coming in, and the air is going to keep it cooler, but yeah, I probably need to try the water or ice cubes a little bit more than I normally do, just to be, especially with something that I always drink neat, and I've had it before. It's like, go ahead and put some ice or drops of water in there and see if I'm getting something different.
It's gonna expand your profile.
Yeah.
Just like we did an episode a couple of weeks ago or months ago where we were talking about how to grow your profile. That's a way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of, expanding our knowledge and expanding our profile, our palette and things like that, I love expanding our viewers of what shops are out there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, going out to a new shop, experiencing some new people, new selection, new lounges, things like that. Well, this walkthrough that we have this time is from a good friend of mine, Kevin Shahan.
Kevin Shahan.
Yeah, Cigar Prop.
Cigar Prop.
He sent me a walkthrough of Corona cigar.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's where he hosts his show at, right?
Well, no, he does it out of his house.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he does it out of his house, and Corona Cigars is one of the sponsors of his show.
Right.
But it's right there in Tampa. I've never been there, and I've been to Tampa plenty of times, and I don't know why I've never dropped into Corona, but the walkthrough that he gave me with that was like, holy cow.
Well, depending upon when this particular episode airs, I'll either have just gotten back from Tampa or I will be in Tampa.
Well, you need to stop by Corona. That is a must.
Corona and Grand Cathedral are two that are on my list. And in fact, again, depending upon, when this episode airs, our thoughts and prayers have been out for those that have experienced Hurricane Ian out there. I've confirmed that every place that I want to go is open for business, and especially when there's a natural disaster like that.
Yeah.
We need to go and support our brick and mortars.
Yeah.
Because those natural disasters can just absolutely devastate them.
Yeah. And Tampa is just cigar haven.
Yes.
Ybor City.
And I am 3 miles from everywhere.
Anytime I'm in Tampa, I have got to go there, and I always do. But right now, the shop walkthrough that we're going to do is with Kevin Shahan at Cigar Prop, and he's going to go through Corona Cigar Company right there in Tampa. So
and give Kevin your love and go out and visit him at Cigar Prop.
Yeah, if you haven't watched any of his videos, he does so many interviews just like you do of people in the cigar business, and him and his wife, great people. I haven't met his wife, but Kevin and I did get to meet up in Tampa that one time. And so enjoy this, guys.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin from Cigar Prop, and here we are, Corona Cigar, Tampa, Florida. Let's go check it out. right, I hope you've enjoyed my little tour of Corona Cigar Tampa. Definitely a must-stop shop if you're anywhere in the area. Come on in or visit coronacigar.com. And remember, smoke FSG.
Man, great stuff.
Definitely want to go visit Corona when I'm in the area. That is a
Man.
beautiful facility.
I can't, for the life of me, figure out how I did not go by there all the times that I've been in Tampa. I always go by Ybor City.
Yeah.
Always. Love that place.
Yes.
I love Tampa, but I have not, all the times I've been there, I did not go to Corona. Don't ask me why, because I don't know.
No.
But Kevin, thank you for the walkthrough. That place is gorgeous.
Yes.
Man, the bar back and the cigar selection and everything behind glass, I had no idea. I mean, I've heard about it. I've see them on Facebook, and I see I get their catalog every now and then, but had no idea that's what it looked like.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
So, another great show. Appreciate it, you guys. If you can see what we can do for a walkthrough, you don't have to talk through it. Just walk through and show us the place. I'll put some music underneath it, and let us see what's in your area. So if we're ever in your area, we can stop on in, right?
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we're going to leave you guys with that. But like we always say, enjoy the leaf, grow the culture. All right, guys. Take care. Texas Cigar Roadshow is presented by Lone Star Cigar Association.